Okay, Musketeers. So we're going to talk about our theme for the week. Okay, you ready to go on a trip with me? Okay. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're going on a trip and our favorite rocket ship zooming through the skies. Little Einstein, climb aboard. They're ready to explore. There's so much to find. Little Einsteins, we're going on a mission. Start the countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Everyone, rocket, rev it up now. Come on, let's go. Little Einsteins. All right. And I want you to close your eyes. We're in space. Now I want you to tell your parents so they can write it down. What do you see in space? What's some things you see out there? Keep your eyes closed. What do you see? Okay, let us know. Now open them up. We're in space. In space. Now, what do you think is out there? I want you to draw a picture of what space looks like to you. Draw a picture of what it looks like to you. Okay? So we're going to talk about space. All right. Space. Okay. Space. Do you think space has a sound? Do you think we hear anything in space? Space is quiet. It's quiet. It's quiet. What colors do you think we see in space? What do you think we see? Okay. Space is dark to our eye from Earth. But actually in space, you can see the specks off the stars. Okay. Now space is, I'm going to ask you these questions. I want you to tell me what space is. What is space? It's going to be our question of the day. What is space? Space is something that's beyond Earth's universe. It's after Earth. It's beyond Earth. That's the next level. Okay? It's how do you think it feel out there? What's the temperature in space? What do you think the temperature is? Okay? Space is cold. It's very, very cold. Very cold. Um, what do you think it smells like? We got what we hear, how it feel. What do you think it smells like? I think it's okay. Space has a burnt smell, as if like you're cooking something and it's burnt. It has a burnt smell. Space smells like it's burnt. Do you think you can live in space? Can we live out in space? No, we can't live in space. We have to have a special suit on, and there's no the reason why. Why do you think we can't live out in space? We can't live out in space for long periods of time because there's no oxygen. So the astronauts can live and go out in space, but they live in space shuttles and they're out there for a period of time, but they can't take their helmet off or their suits off out in the actual space because if they take their spacesuit off, there's no oxygen. There's nothing to keep them to get oxygen to their brain to breathe. And the sun and the heat that's out there from the off the stars, because it'll pull it to them. Um, it'll burn them up. So, and there's no gravity. So in space we float. You float. You have no control. You're floating around. You're floating around in space. And there's some words. There's some words. How do you think we can look out into space? What do you think we can use? Huh? If we're on Earth, what's some ways that we can look into space? We can use a telescope to look out there, and use a telescope, and you turn it to make sure that you get real close, and you point it up, and you look into the sky, and you can see the stars. You can see the stars. Another way is at NASA, they put satellites up in space. They put them around Earth, they put it around the sun, and around the moon. And what the satellite does, it collects data. It collects data and it transmits it down to Earth so that they can see about what the weather is going to be like. It also use satellites to for cable for our internet. Um, so yeah, the satellite gives us information about what's going on out in space. Okay. Now, remember I said this person right here, he's the astronaut. He goes out in space. I don't know if you can see it. Okay. Well, I don't think you can. So the astronaut, he goes out in space. He has to make sure he wears his helmet, his gloves, and this uniform. Okay. All right. So that's what we're talking about. We're talking about space. If space starts with what letter? What letter does space starts with? Space. Do you think you know? All right. I want you to think of how to spell space. Okay? I'm going to give you the first two letters because it's a blend and you're really not going to hear it. So it's SP. So space. After SP, what else do you hear? Ace. 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 Space. What do you hear? I gave you the SP sound because it's a blend. I want you to write it down. So the P, so we have the S, and P makes the p sound. Pace, ace, space. So A makes the A sound. Space. What makes the S sound? The S. So space. Those are the sounds that you hear. Space. Okay. Now, I want you to think of some other S words that we have that you could think of that begins with things that are in space. Okay? I'm going to give you some clues and I'm going to see if you can come up with them, okay? So we have space, and this is another thing. It twinkles in the sky. Okay? And this thing, it gives us light. What gives us light? Okay? This thing, it gives us information. It transmits information back to Earth. Um, this is how we get to space. What is the vehicle we use to get to space? It's what this thing right here we wear it in out there. What is it? What is it called? This is a planet and it has rings around it. Um, and I think that's all I have. Let's see if you can come up with some more words, space words that start with S. Okay, let's see if you can come up with some more space words that start with S. All right, now. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. Up above the world so high, like a diamond in the sky. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are.